everyone. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for being here. This is the second session of C4Yourself for September 2021. We're going to be talking about how your home is your castle, but what does that look like? What does that mean for you and for your lifestyle? And we'll be sharing a recording of this presentation as well. So if you know someone who might be interested in this, we would love for you to share it with them. And we're just going to jump right in. So in case you don't know how to use the chat box, if you're on any kind of device, it should be kind of down in the middle of your screen. If you want to ask a question verbally, you can do that as well. You can raise your hand or you can unmute. But yeah, so just throw questions in the chat and let us know if there's something we can answer for you. All right, so just real quickly, I want to say you're welcome to come in and see us. Come in, we're awesome. We have a fun time here in our showroom. You can shop online and kind of peruse a portion of our catalog 24/7. That's at paulsonsav.com/shop. So we're always building that catalog, and we welcome you to take a peek at that on the off hours when our showroom is not open. But otherwise, just stop in and see us, and you can see all this great technology and more in person, test drive a lot of it, and get some of your questions answered. On the call with me today is Chris Paulson. He is one of our owners, and he's also our VP of Custom Integration. So he and his team are responsible for putting this technology in your home and executing those installs and supporting you and getting you everything you need to make sure it's all running great. So good afternoon, Chris.
Thank you, and thanks for joining us, everyone, and taking the time out of your day.
Yeah, absolutely. Dan Paulson is also on our C4Yourself leadership team. So he is not on the call with us today, but he is here to answer your questions when you stop in, and he oversees our sales and design team. And for me, I'm Emily Karlichak. I'm the Director of Marketing and Outreach here at Paulson. So it's my job to meet you where you are with the information that's going to help you build the right castle. So your home is your castle, but what does that mean? Not all smart is created equal. And I think in the past year and a half, 2 years, a lot of us have been spending a lot more time at home. Maybe we've gotten interested in some smart home technology. Maybe some of these things have become intriguing to us, or maybe we've started grabbing some things, a few smart devices here or there, some accessories. Maybe it's a doorbell, maybe it's a thermostat, maybe it's light bulbs. So there's lots of different things that now come smart, but that doesn't necessarily that they're just kind of plug and play. So your home could be full of smart gadgets, but you might have noticed if you have that they don't always all work together. They don't play nicely. One app may try to override another and compete to execute different features or different scenes in your home. You might find that you're able to control certain sets of devices all at once, so like lighting, but you need a separate command for something like controlling your music or your home theater. And more importantly, if you're using mobile as your primary method to control all these things, mobile apps on your phone, that isn't always convenient or feasible. So if you're listening to music, you got your smart lights on, and you get a phone call, what happens? Does your music cut out? Does your phone call go through your speakers? How does that all work? So we at Paulson's can help you to maneuver what that looks like and making smart work for you the way that you live. All right. Oh. I got ahead of myself here. There's a little bit of a lag. Okay, here. Now, one forward. Thank you. So to make your home the castle that you deserve, it needs to kind of hit 4 different criteria. We need it to be helpful to you. We need it to be personalized to you. We need it to provide security for you and your loved ones and the things that you care about. And we need it to make sure that you have the level of privacy that is appropriate. So Control4 Smart Homes, those are designed and installed and maintained by smart home professionals like ourselves here at Paulson's. So we're smart home pros, we're certified experts, and we design, install, and manage custom electronics and the networks that they run on, which is a critical piece of this. And we have the training, the resources, the experience, the knowledge, and the partnerships that allow us to integrate comprehensive technology solutions into a seamless and reliable system for your everyday use. So we highly recommend and pretty much exclusively use Control4. They make an incredible operating system where you see OS in this presentation. It's talking about the operating system. And that can connect all the technology in your home so it can be managed by one very powerful but very easy to use application on whatever device makes sense for you. The company also makes and sells premium quality home automation devices, smart lighting, AV systems, security, surveillance, all of that. So their operating system actually works really well with maybe other brands. So say you bought a Ring doorbell or an Ecobee thermostat or something like that. They will play nicely with a lot of other major brands out there and unify all of that technology into one system. So if you've dipped your toes into the world of smart and you started bringing in some of these gadgets and gizmos, you wouldn't lose out on that investment most likely if you switched to a more robust Control4 ecosystem. So with Control4, the technology possibilities are pretty much endless, and we can help you with that. So let's tackle this first. Your castle should be helpful. So a Control4 Smart Home operating system is helpful because what it does is it takes all this technology in your home and pulls it all into one consolidated interface that syncs all of your tech, all the brands, all the devices, everything that you've got going on into one place where you can manage it all easily. And that goes for every member of your family. So what will connect to this kind of a system? You know, we have TVs and speakers, all your AV equipment. We have all of your door locks, your cameras, your doorbells, all of the things that are around security and safety, things for environmental control, thermostat, HVAC, blinds, shades, things like that. Things outside, you know, you can control your pool, your jacuzzi, your sprinklers, your irrigation, garage doors, things of that nature. Pet doors, gate access if you have that, or maybe it's around a pool area. And then inside there are things like medicine cabinet locks. There's even floor pads that we have access to that can tell you if someone has gotten out of bed in the morning. All kinds of different stuff. The other thing is IoT devices. So IoT is Internet of Things, and there are more and more products that are normal everyday things that are coming out as smart. So you've got washers and dryers and dishwashers and microwaves and fridges and all of those things. So they have this capability that, you know, maybe you are or are not tapping into. All right. Stop. It's also helpful because it gives you control of your entire home, your entire system, whether you're standing inside it or you're halfway across the world. So wherever you are, you have immediate access to what's going on in your home. And you can customize those notifications and alerts that you get. So if you don't really care if there's motion on one side of your house because there's a lot of animals there, but you do care if there's motion at your front door, then you can set those kinds of notifications. The Control4 operating system is also helpful because it gives you the harmony of all these different things being pulled together, but it does it in a way that gives you the option for the interface that makes most sense for you, your lifestyle, and what you prefer as far as devices go. So whether you want to use a mobile phone, whether you want to have some of these tablets installed in your walls where someone can just walk up and push a touch screen, if you want to use a remote like the Control4 Neeo remote, which is there, whether you want to use voice control or backlit beautiful keypads, whatever your preferences, whatever combination of preferences you have, we can hook you up with the right devices for that style of control. Another key piece of this is having professional grade networks. So professional grade networks are more robust networks and they're specified to your space. So we can design and install a really reliable, high performance network that's going to be the foundation for all of this technology. And then we can oversee your network, make sure it's running smoothly, of course, only with your permission. And we can help you, or we can for you add and modify a device on your system in a way that doesn't interrupt any other devices or any other processes, but just optimizes and enhances the entire system. And then we can also do some support and some service remotely, of course, again, with your permission. We'll talk about that more later. So, you know, the old, oh, have you tried unplugging it and plugging it back in again? You know, there's rebooting options that you can do on your own that can avoid a service call, and some other convenient things like that. And so with that network, there's a lot of questions that go into planning what you're going to need. So, what service do you use? Are you AT&T? Are you Comcast? Are you this? Are you that? What kind of streaming does your household do? Do you stream a ton of music? You got music going on in every room of the house, all hours of the day. I know for me, if I'm in the kitchen, there's music on. If I'm playing with my kids, then there's music on. We're having dance parties. Do you do a lot of streaming of Netflix, Disney Plus, Hulu, all of that? How large is your home? How many stories is your home? What materials were used in building your home? These are all questions that we take into account here at Paulson's to make sure that we're building a network that is what you need now and for the foreseeable future, and nothing more and nothing less. We want to find that middle bowl of porridge for you as far as your network is concerned. We also take into account what kinds of mobile devices you are. Are you team Android or team Apple? What other technology do you have in the home? So we want to make sure that your whole ecosystem is built to work with each other to benefit you and not to work against each other. And that includes the network. So here I'll pause for just a moment. And if you have any questions about how your castle should be helpful, you can drop those in the chat. I'm just going to put a little note in here so that if you haven't seen the chat pop up just yet, then you should see a little notification on the bottom. So if you do have questions, you can drop those in there anytime. All right, we've still got some more folks coming in, so I'll give just a second to connect to audio. And again, if you have questions, just let me know. Happy to answer those. Chris is happy to answer those. And then we will keep it moving. Welcome in to the folks who have just joined us. Thank you for being here. Thanks for giving us some of your day. I'm going to move forward in just one hot second. If you have questions, go ahead and drop those in the chat. Otherwise, we will move on. Okay. So the next up on the list is that your castle should be personal. One of the biggest benefits and the biggest draws of smart technology is not necessarily just that all of these things can do cool stuff, but that it can be personalized to you and the way that you want to utilize your system and how you want it to benefit your lifestyle. Did you have something, Chris?
No, go ahead with this one. And then I just had a quick comment that I wanted to throw in about the personalization option that C4 provides the end user.
Great. I will do this slide and then I'll hand it over to you. So the biggest thing is just that the operating system with Control4 can be personalized for you and by you. And I think that's something that Chris can probably touch on as well if he wasn't already planning on it. So you can have favorite rooms, favorite devices, favorite scenes, channels, playlists. You can have all of these things customized to the way that you live and the way that you want your home to run. I'm going to let Chris make his comment and I'll hop forward after that.
Yeah, one thing that Control4 really listened to its end users is they kept their programming locked down. My technicians have to go out on site. It's a week-long programming class to learn how to build the network, build the program, build the system. And then we obviously make the adjustments. But then over the last few years, obviously with the influx of DIY products that have hit the market, Control4 wanted to expand their options and give some control or some customization to the end user. So they've developed a software platform called When Then Programming. So you as the end user of the system can go into it, do programming, and when this happens, then this happens is something that you can set up. So when this button is pushed, this happens. When this light comes on, this happens. So there's a variety of customization options now that they've give programming the power at the client level of it. However, the only thing you can't do, which was smart on their part, you can't add or delete any products because you certainly don't want to add or delete something that then shuts the system down because you didn't realize how important it was. So it's just another neat thing why we really appreciate Control4 as a partner, because they've really listened to their clients and listened to the market, and they're starting to bring these things. And the big ask was, we want to be able to program. So they've given you a safe way to do that. All right, that was just my last little bit about that, Emily. We can move forward.
Thank you. That's really important to know, because I think that some of us, as we look at doing anything with technology, everyone has a different level of comfort, and some of the hesitancy around smart home is that you're never sure if you're going to be able to manage the system, if it's something that's going to be intuitive for you to interact with, and if something goes wrong, oh, am I stuck with everything not working, or are there things that I can do on my own? So that's really great to know. And of course, we at Paulson's are always here for you. So moving forward, the next piece here is talking about another way that it's personal. So you can connect your sound system, your AV, your home theater, inside and out, all to this platform. So if you have a home theater, and by the way, home theater doesn't necessarily mean a projector and in-wall speakers and all the starry sky and all that stuff. What it does mean is you have something to view entertainment on, and you have something to hear it with. So whatever your home theater looks like, that is included in here, whether it's a TV and a sound bar or a full projection theater. And that also includes multi-room audio. So we have clients who have put speakers throughout their home, maybe in their kitchen or their dining room. They like to listen to a little jazz when they cook. I know that's how I am. Or they want to listen to the radio while they're out on their deck. They have outdoor speakers. So there's lots of options for integrating sound into all areas of your home, but then the option to control it with certainty is definitely there. The other way that it's personal is by having this multi-room video option. So if you have folks over for the holidays, the adults are watching football in one room, the kids are watching holiday movies in the other, you can control all of that. Or say you've got, everybody wants to watch the same thing. You spread throughout multiple rooms and everyone can enjoy the same thing. So there's a lot of options to easily stream whatever it is you want to view to whichever TV projector device you want to do with it. So you can stream music and video wherever you want it. You can have the TV turn on, turn off certain times of the day on certain stations. There's options to have your blinds and your shades react to the TV being turned on and off. So if you're heading down for movie night and in your basement, your home theater, turn on your projector, and then all of a sudden the blinds and shades close so that they know that it's time for a movie. That's really, really cool. And you can even have your movie or your show or whatever you're watching move room to room with you. So if it's cleaning day, but you want to watch your daily program, you can have that follow you from room to room as you dust and vacuum. This is one of my favorite things about the Control4 Smart Home is these switch plates. So our switches are these beautiful LED backlit custom engraved switches. And I love how you can personalize this, because you can put a lot of your own family's personality and character into these, which is really fun. So say your family loves movie nights and football Sundays and, you know, parties and things like that. So you could have a plate like this for your entertaining area that has a button for all of those different scenarios. You could do something like spring, summer, fall, winter. You could have different settings for different seasons. You could do all kinds of different things. And these are just beautiful design, really easy to integrate if you're an interior designer, you're working with one, really easy to integrate these in. And one of the best parts is it takes away from that giant bay of flippy switches, right? Sometimes those go all the way down the wall in some houses because there's so much going on, but that just looks gross. We prefer this much so over that. So if there are any questions, go ahead and just throw them in the chat. I'm just going to keep moving. And if I see something pop up, Chris and I will tackle that. So third piece here is talking about how your castle should be secure. Obviously, that's one of the biggest selling points of a smart home is that you have those security features, but what do those really look like? So smart security is going to give you a view into every spot in your home that you want, anytime that you want. So you can disarm your system, you can get alerts, set lights, set locks, all of those kinds of things to whatever your schedule is, or if your schedule happens to change, you can do that as well. Great privacy settings, very easy to use tools and very clear choices on how you want to operate your system. If you have a pool, a fire pit, a trampoline, places where kiddos maybe could be in danger if they're around those when they don't have an adult with them, you can set up motion detectors around those. There's lots and lots of options to customize based on what information about your property is the most important to you. I told the story a few times, but in case you're new to us, one of our owners, Dan, he had a day where his wife and his son were in the house and they were busy doing something and had a knock at the door. He answered the door from his phone. It was a neighbor looking for a shovel. So he was able to open the garage door, let the neighbor in, shut it behind him. And his wife and his son never had to be disrupted, and they never had to open the door to someone that they couldn't see. They didn't know who it was. So that's just one example of how maybe you can manage your home when you're not there, keep your loved ones safe, and also be a good neighbor. All right. The smart home with Control4 also gives you security because you can stay connected to your home from wherever you are. So you have remote access to everything that's a part of your system: lights, doors, cameras, thermostat, audio, video. If you have little ones, say they ride the bus, they get home before you, give each kiddo a different code and you'll know which one is home when. And then when they come inside, you can decide what shows they're allowed to watch, if any, or if they have to do their homework first. So you have a lot of control over what goes on in your home and around making sure that the people that you love are safe and secure there as well. Another great example is if you happen to have someone who maybe does cleaning or something in your home, you can program their code to only be active during certain hours on a certain day. So if you know that your cleaning service comes every Monday between 3 and 5, and that code is attempted outside of those hours, then you maybe need to have a conversation with them about who they're sharing their code with and why. So just another added layer of security around that. Some of these are really great tools as well. If you have maybe an older parent or an older relative who wants to maintain some independence, isn't ready to go to maybe a nursing home or some kind of senior living facility where there's people kind of keeping an eye on them. So if they want to maintain that and they're still able to, but you want to make sure that they're getting out of bed in the morning when they're supposed to be, that everything is okay there without having to peep in, you can put motion detectors in a bathroom, for example. You can put a pad on the floor so you know whether or not someone has stepped out of bed. And so some of those things can give you peace of mind if you have loved ones who don't live with you as well. All right, if there are any questions about security, we're happy to take those. Chris is really, really good at fielding those. Chris, did you have anything to add? Or I know I've shared some examples multiple times. Have you had any interesting projects recently that, where anyone's done anything really cool with any of the stuff we've talked about, but especially security and things?
I mean, nothing outside of the examples that you've already given. I mean, a lot of it is just having the house react and give you that peace of mind that things are happening as they're supposed to be. I mean, like you mentioned, I think some of the most important, or some of our most popular options within the home automation is just that, those entry packages and things like that, where you're getting notifications of someone getting home, or based off the schedules, they only allowed in at a certain time and it denies them, but can still send you a message that they got home. And lastly, too, just having lights come on just by opening a garage door at night. You're driving home, so you're not walking into a dark house, and the home can react to you. So that way you're, like I said, arms full and coming in from the grocery store, and it'll have lights on for you just by opening the garage door. It sees it's after dark. It looks and sees that the house is dark. It turns the lights on. So a lot of little things that just bring it all together, and you just make the home that much more comfortable and convenient for you.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a really good one. I've heard stories about that in the past, where that's kind of where some of our clients have started, is by starting with some of the smart lighting, especially here in Michigan. Of course, in the wintertime, it gets dark at like 1 p.m. So a lot of people, when they're coming home from work or coming home from school, the house is maybe, at dusk or getting dark. And especially if your family doesn't all have one schedule, because I know most families aren't all arriving home at the same exact time every day. So if mom has kiddos and she's coming home before dad gets home, that gives him some peace of mind knowing that they're not walking into a dark house by themselves at the end of the day. So that's a great point. All right. Last piece of kind of the perfect castle requirements we've been talking about is the privacy. And this is something I'm definitely going to tap into you for, Chris, because you do a great job of explaining this. So Control4 really takes privacy seriously. And we we would not be working with them if they were not at the level of privacy and security that they are. So definitely industry leading security practices and integrity around that. And again, getting back to full control, full customization, full security on your terms. And Chris, if you can talk a little bit about my favorite subject, the open port, which a lot of people don't realize that when they buy some of these, you could pick up a Ring doorbell at Costco and not realize necessarily what access you're allowing to your home, for example. So if you wouldn't mind.
Sure. The biggest thing and what Emily is talking about is being able to access and or see what's going on in your home when you're not at home. So you have to have the ability to get onto the home network, onto that home system to be able to do it. In years past, your network had to have an opening that you could creep in from anywhere on the internet to be able to see what's going on in your home. They call it an open port. Control4 does a little bit differently. This is the one thing or the one spot where Control4 has a recurring cost. There is a $100 annual charge that they have for what they call foresight. And foresight means is your apps, you've got your smartphone, you're not at home, you want to make sure the alarm is set, the garage door is closed, the lights are off, or maybe it got really hot and you want to connect to your thermostat, whatever the case may be. You are actually connected to Control4, and then they have a secure connection to your system. So that foresight gives you the ability to access your home through their server, and this is essentially to maintain their server, and allows you to get into it without leaving those vulnerabilities in your home network. And that was one of the things that really locked it in as being a good partner for us to pair with in Control4, because admittedly years ago, before we started with Control4, some 14 years ago, I think, the vendors that we were using for smart home at that point, that's how we had to do it. We had to leave an opening in the network so you could control your home when you're not home. We didn't like that. I mean, certainly cybersecurity wasn't even as prevalent then as it is now. And even then, it just didn't seem right that that's how you had to do it. Also, that foresight subscription, besides giving you the secure connection to your home, does allow the home to send you messages when you're not home. To Emily's point from earlier, the alarm is going off, or door codes are entered, or garage door was left open, or whatever the case may be. It also allows it being your smart home ecosystem to communicate with you when you're not home. One other little privacy act that Control4 has done that we really appreciate is they have partnered with a lot of the smart home systems that are put together by some of the big search engines that are out there. And it took a long time for Control4 to partner with those guys. And the reason being, those DIY products demanded that they know literally everything that every smart device is doing in the house. And Control4 is like, no, we're not giving you, our clients, information of when they do this, when they turn on their TV, what they're doing with their lights, whatever the case may be. And they finally came to an agreement that to allow that integration with voice and those few servers that are out there to do that, but you have the ability within your mycontrol4.com account, which we set up for you when you get a system, to turn that off so they cannot find those devices and see what else is going on in your home. Now, those devices by Google and Amazon and all those different guys, they report what their device is doing, but Control4 will not let them report what the rest of the system is doing unless you wanted to give those analytics or data up. So it's just another thing that shows Control4 really has the end user, their clients' security and privacy in the front of mind, and just another reason why we've chosen them to be our partner and like everything they bring to the table.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. You do a much better job explaining that than I do. And I think that, a lot of the convenience, especially around those voice controlled devices that a lot of us, get free with an annual order on certain days or something like that. A lot of those are incredibly convenient. Especially if you have little ones, it's very easy for them to be able to ask it to play music or answer a question for homework and all of that stuff. But it's very easy to let convenience get in the way of privacy or have that become the priority. And not everyone thinks about that. And so we just try to be really upfront and clear about the level of privacy that we are bringing to our clients and to our partners, because it's really important to us. And we can't even do anything in your system without your permission either. So that was another piece of it, is that, you know, you can ask us to help out with remote support, but we don't have 24/7 eyes into your system. That's just, that wouldn't be ethical. So if you have any questions, please, as we've said, please throw those in the chat. You can also screenshot this or jot our information down, our phone number, our info email. We're happy to help you. You can also stop into our showroom anytime. We're open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 5. Now I'm going to just walk through some of the kind of new and noteworthy, more recent additions to the Control4 lineup of products. These are very exciting and we love them. So first is Neeo. And there's a new Matrix movie coming out. So maybe some of the people who are too young to have known the original Matrix movies will start to get my jokes around this now. I'm very excited. Thanks for making my humor relevant again, Keanu. So Neeo gives you total control at your fingertips, which of course is one of the main themes of what we've been talking about, right? So Neeo is the remote from Control4. It is a beautiful, elegant, but pretty sturdy design. It's been engineered for the home media experience and unifying that with the Control4 Smart Home operating system so that you can really leverage the power of that ecosystem to manage all of your devices, but with a device like this that is really effortless to use and very intuitive. So it's super easy to add it to your Control4 Smart Home. We can help with that. Super simple, very easy to use. So Neeo is great because it looks great and it also is pretty robust. So it can handle some drops and dings. If you've got kiddos or pets who like to knock things off couches, it can handle those little drops. It has a great combination of tactile buttons, real buttons, but then also like the touch screen on it. So it's a nice combination of different ways to control. The body's aluminum, so it's lightweight, but it has, you know, that durability. And everything about it's been optimized for long-term use. So great battery life. It goes to sleep when it's not in use, and when you need to charge it, it's on this cool little charging base that's really easy to just plop down on a counter. I know, like, I love my in-laws to pieces, but they have about 14 remote controls in their living room, and if I had just one that was on this pretty little stand, it would make my life a lot easier when I'm trying to pull up cartoons for the kids there. Yeah, so this is something that is really sturdy, really beautiful, comes in a couple colors, great way to control your Control4 Smart Home and your entertainment pieces that are a part of it. Next up is Chime. So Chime is the first video doorbell that was created specifically for a full smart home ecosystem. So this is a great product to integrate into a smart home system of any size. And it's going to give you everything, of course, that you would expect from a smart doorbell and from a video doorbell, but it's more than that. So really high resolution communication. So you get high resolution video, you get high resolution audio. Great way to see and talk to people, whether you're at your house or if you're away. If you have some deer walk by your front porch, you're going to get a great view of that. But if somebody does happen to, you know, we don't like to think about these things, but maybe snag a package off your porch, or you're not sure who's there. There's great high resolution images and audio that can help you in those worst case scenarios that we don't like to think about, but it's good to be ready for just in case. This has the same kind of thing as far as notifications, real-time notifications, all the ones you want, none of the ones that you don't. And it's totally customizable with that whole home system, which is awesome. And finally, we're so excited. This is brand new. This is what C4Yourself this month is really focused on, is contemporary lighting. So our contemporary lighting, not only is it beautiful, these new switch plates and everything are just lovely, but it's so much more than just turning things on and off. So you can take those, like I said, the long bay of flippy switches, even in the simple parts of my house, which was built in the 50s, I've got, you know, sometimes 3 or 4 switches all in one thing. It takes up half the wall. But these keypads are great because they can give you these beautiful presentation of buttons, but it's also customized and it's going to do exactly what you want it to do. And if you're in the world of design, or you work with an interior designer, or you just yourself really want the space to look great, you want that form and function, the new contemporary lighting was designed with that in mind. So if it's in an area where you don't want to cut open the wall to run cables, where you maybe are doing a remodel, but you don't want to go full demo, this can be a really cost-effective and a really a lot less hassle way to retrofit. So again, the LED backlit buttons, those can all be custom engraved, and it can actually let you know if something's been left open or unlocked or left on or whatever. So yeah. So for everyone who is here with us, if you registered, that means that you have been automatically entered to win a smart home starter pack. So we're super excited to give that away. It is an EA1 controller. The controller is the brain of the smart home ecosystem. So with the controller and the Neeo remote, which I just showed you, that is the starting point for your new smart home. And you can integrate smart technology from Control4 or from other third-party companies as well in most cases. And you can start adding those into your system. And we can absolutely help you with that, with installation and educating you on how to use it. The other thing is, if you decide that you either have a Control4 system and want to do some upgrading, or if you are new to Control4 and want to get your system up and running, we are offering a free Neeo or Chime with every $3,500 you spend on Snap One products. Snap One owns Control4, Triad, Package, a handful of other brands. So you'd come in and work with a member of our sales team. And if you decide, oh, yep, here's everything I want for my system, here's all of the bells and whistles, total on it is, $7,000, then you would be able to choose a free Neeo or Chime for each $3,500. So you'd get 2 products with that price point. If you spent $1,400, you'd get 4 items. So there's some really cool promotions involved in that. And then if you are a current Control4 client, we also have an upgrade program, in case you weren't aware. So we can explore that with you. Your salesperson can help you with that. And in some cases, that might even be a better deal than some of the other stuff we have going on. So please, if you're interested in a system or you have a system and you want to see how you can grow it, we would love to speak with you. So kind of getting back to your home is your castle. As I mentioned, this is something that you can do piece by piece. You don't have to say, okay, in the house that I'm in right now, I want the controller, the remote, I want 10 rooms of smart lighting, 10 rooms of audio, a garage door sprinklers, and a chime. You don't have to make all of those decisions all at once. You can decide to say, hey, I'm going to start with just the lighting in my front hallway so that when I come home at the end of the day, I'm not walking into a dark house. And then you can add things piece by piece over time as you figure out what works best for you, or maybe how your family changes. So if you have questions, go ahead and drop them into the chat. We'll do kind of a final Q&A if anything does come in. Again, you can take down our information here. And then just to kind of wrap things up, and I'll give Chris a chance to chat as well. But so one of the things that we love most about working with Control4 is that the system is flexible and very scalable, as I mentioned, the piece by piece, brick by brick. So if you have some smart devices that you want to bring together into one system, or if you want to start with one room or one feature and add more over time, Control4 has solutions for every need, every budget. And as your local experts, we would love the opportunity to help you explore that vision, map it out, see what it would look like, how it would function in your everyday life, and help you make the right choices for you. If you're in building, design, real estate, any skilled trades, these solutions and these features can make your clients' residential or commercial properties exponentially more functional, secure, and comfortable. So we love working with our industry partners. We love helping you bring your clients' dreams to life. That's why we're in the business, and we know that's why you're in the business too. So as your clients move through life and their needs change, we're in it for the long haul with them to support them. And so if you're in these industries, we have great programs that we work with other professionals, and we would be happy to speak with you one-on-one about what working with us looks like. And to everyone who was able to join us, thank you so much. We hope you learned a few things, and hopefully we got your wheels turning and you're excited about home technology, smart home technology, and how it can be helpful, personal, secure, and private with us at Paulson's and our friends at Control4. Chris, did you have any final thoughts?
No, nothing really to add. Just want to thank everybody for taking the time out of their day to jump on and learn a little bit more. And as questions come up and when you want to know even more, feel free to stop by the showroom. We have a lot of the systems active for demonstration. So you can see the interfaces, see the devices, get a good feel for what could be going in your home, and have an in-depth discussion with any of our sales staff of how and what makes sense for you as an individual as a starting point, and more to go from there.
Yeah, absolutely. Be sure to follow us on social media. We post a lot of pictures and videos of the different things that we offer there. So you can get some kind of snippets of what's new, what's exciting, some sneak peeks into our showroom if you haven't been in yet. And we'll also announce the winner of our giveaway on there, and we'll reach out to you directly. But yeah, I mean, our stopping into the showroom is one of the best ways to really see how this stuff works and what might work for you. So we encourage you to stop by and see us. As always, we're here to help. So reach out anytime. And I don't see any other questions. So with that, we will let you free for the day. Thank you so much for being with us, and have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, everybody.